this time, I'd like to call to order a regular monthly meeting of the South Union Township Board of Supervisors. Please stand for silent prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the roll call, Mr. Schiffbauer. Here. Mr. Vernon. Here. Mr. Scott. Here. Number 5, the Roadmaster's report. Mr. Vernon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Scott. For the month of August, the following is the Roadmaster's report. Our crew was very busy the month of August. I can give you a breakdown. We had the sweeper truck out 5 days. We ran compost from our transfer station 15 days. We had the tractor out 10 days in the township. We picked up garbage 5 days throughout the township. Cut and trimmed trees on Pine Log Road off of Buttermilk Lane. We repaired 2 inlets on Cherry Tree Lane and 1 in Revere. Worked on a large drain on South Mount Vernon Avenue. We put in new inlets at the corner of Francis and Meadowlark and 1 on Brownfield Road. We cleaned the drains throughout the township. We repaired the rotary walk that was damaged due to the flood in July. We painted stops on the stop sign areas in Hawkwood area. We put up 4 watch children signs throughout the township, along with we installed 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs over on Cherry Tree Lane. We never had anything posted before. That was requested by some of the merchants. We re-whacked the guardrails in the township. We milled, repaired our curves, or put new curves in the following areas. Martha Street off of Derrick Avenue, Duckett Lane, Suncrest, Brownfield Lane, Sunrise, Lydia Drive, Christie Drive, Dixon and Wiggins, Lebanon, Crestview, Virginia Circle, David Drive, Spring Creek Lane, Old Walnut Hill Road, Craig Street, Perry and Tyrone, Farmview Drive, Amy Way, Rex Drive, Church Street, Corner Street, Eagleston Street, First Street, and Continental 2, and the rear of Kendall Drive, also on Poplar Court. Also, we put and cleaned the sheepskin trail area, and also the new dog park took care of. And we tied in a new driveway on Holly Lane. That concludes my report. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Nothing. Do you have anything, Mr. Schiffbauer?
No, I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Vernon.
Thank you.
Number 6, the Sewage Department report. WVU Medical Center turned in a planning module. It's being reviewed for a doctor's office. I believe it's in North Union, but it'll flow into our South Union sewage. That's why we're reviewing it. We also received a site plan. We actually approved the subdivision. It's for an O'Reilly Auto Parts store, and that's a 2-work parkway. It's across from Gabe's. Is that a 2-acre site that they're
just shy of 2 acres?
Just shy of 2-acre site that they're going to build a new O'Reilly Auto Parts there. The Route 21 pump station, pump number 2 is being worked on by RJMC Incorporated. They were actually there today and got it repaired. Salem Heights pump station is running on 1 pump. We're waiting for State Pipe to come and correct a pump flap. I did have this just come in today. We mentioned before we have a grant that we received last year, a $285,000 grant with our match. I believe total projects upwards of $400,000, and it's for a upgrade to the Redstone Furnace Brownfield sanitary sewer. Mr. Over will have some information on that for us.
Yep. So the plan is prepared. There's just a couple final modifications that needs to be made based upon the EADS group's review of the plan, the peer review that they did. With that being said, would like a motion today to go ahead and begin advertising. We'll open the bids, receive bids on October the 2nd before 3 o'clock and open the bids at your next meeting on October the 2nd. So we would need an authorization to go ahead and begin advertising that project. So,
okay. You guys have any questions on that?
No.
I'll make a motion that we advertise to bid out the Redstone Furnace Brownfield Road Grant Project. As Mr. Over said, the bids will be due on October 2nd at 3 o'clock, and they will be open publicly at our next meeting at 4 o'clock. That's my motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Motion and proper second on the roll call. Mr. Scott, yes. Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Motion carries. In other matters, the bike system that I've been talking about that was purchased by Walmart for the Sheepskin Trail, the bikes will be in next week, so we're hoping to have those up by our next October meeting. Also, September 14th and 15th, we're having another market days at the former Cluss Lumber building that we purchased. It's pretty much the same as last time we had one in March. It was a huge success. It's $2 for entry fee. We have over 70 vendors. And if you have any questions, you can call over to the sewage, actually, 438-8333. Also, we'll address this at our October meeting, but we're going to do the treats on the trail like we did last year. And that's set for October 12th from 12 to 3. Last year we had 35 businesses where your children could come dressed under 13 years of age and stroll down the trail and receive treats from local businesses. So that'll, like I said, you can check our Facebook page for any of this. And just one reminder, please remember the school started, so try to drive safe and use caution in neighborhoods with the buses. That completes my report for the sewage. Do you gentlemen have anything to add?
No, sir.
No.
Moving forward, number 7 is our code enforcement officer report. Mr. Vernon.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Ken. For the month of August, following the code enforcement report, we always mention we have one full-time, one part-time officer working Monday through Fridays from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. They traveled 1,834 miles throughout the township. And our part-time who works on weekends and doing Saturday and Sundays traveled 1,356 miles throughout our township. Total mileage was 3,190 miles that was traveled throughout our township patrolling. Letters for property repairs, we had 1 given out. We had 3 junk vehicles and they all complied. We had 3 dog complaints. 2 were cited by office kennels for no vaccination. We had 2 burning complaints. Again, you can only burn on Saturday from 8 to 5. It must be a controlled blaze, which means someone has to be there at all times. High grass and weeds, we had 15, and 14 out of the 15 complied. Again, the grass gets 10 inches or higher, we have to send a letter giving you a warning. After that, we either cite you, and also we can even cut your grass and lien your property. We had 1 unsafe property to live in, we posted. We had 6 garbage account delinquent letters go out. Citations issued with 8 by our code officers. Tickets given out, handicap, we had 41 given out. Fire lane 29, the total was 70. I think that concludes my report. For anything else you want to miss? On the code?
Moving on. Number 8, a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I'll second Mr. Schiffbauer's motion.
On the roll call, Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Scott, yes. Motion carries. Number 9, comments from the public.
Yeah, Don Williams, 40 Ruble Drive. I have a couple of questions. This post was posted on Facebook. I'm not real good with Facebook. I don't even know how to get on it. But this was concerning the request for flood information. Now, was this posted by the Township Supervisors?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do the people that do not have Facebook, how were they notified? As to,
I'm sure it's said on there, but other people have brought in. I have multiple people that just brought in if you're not on
okay,
Facebook.
okay. Now another question is, in other words, you had just answered my next question. They can actually bring their stuff in.
I'm pretty sure that was on that post, at the bottom of that post.
Via email.
Oh, it said
It
just
says via email.
Oh, okay.
So that
yeah,
was,
you can bring them in.
Well, I didn't know that. I just wanted to get that clarified.
We're taking them, and then what she's going to do is just to keep a file. She's scanning them and then emailing to that email, just so we have a track record. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, we posted this week. We had 1.
I don't even know how to get on Facebook.
We had
My wife does,
1.4 inches of rain on Saturday, this past Saturday, so we posted it again. Just to say if you had any flooding. We had none. We have no complaints. So we're just making a pattern of when we get our complaints.
That's good. And another thing, the last supervisors meeting on August 7th, a resident requested a report of the camera testing done on Rubel Drive in 2018, and you said that we could get a copy, but no copy was made available.
I have it, but you can't read it with, I'm trying to get through with, or I actually talked to Sam today.
And
You can't read it unless you have this program you have. So I'm trying to get them to burn it on a disk that you can just stick in your computer.
okay, because that was another question. On the 27th, I hand delivered
Right, I got
a
it.
request to you.
I
I know,
called
I
you.
spoke to you on the
Yeah.
phone. And, okay, so, you're working on getting us a report, in other words.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like I told you, I got reports from, we were able to do the 4 houses that, complained, and I'll have a full report on what we found there on my name.
Yeah, that was another question. I wanted another report on those also. And now, so the pipe running from Hague to down through Rubel Drive, last year you said it was deteriorating. Now, all of a sudden, it's not.
It's deteriorated, but it's still open.
It's
still
still, but
flows.
how much of it is open?
It's
I mean, to
a
get,
full pipe, but the bottom's gone. The bottom's deteriorated out of it. Like every other steel pipe that's 35 years old in the township.
well, then why did we have to sign easements last year from Mr. Davis's?
Because we applied for a grant,
Well,
and we didn't get it. But when we get the grant, we're gonna change the pipe.
what if we never get the grant?
Well, we got other avenues where we're
Well,
taking
I would
right now.
appreciate if you explore the other avenues rather than
We are
keep
trying.
fighting
But
for the
Don,
grant.
that pipe's flowing, full 30-inch circle flowing.
Okay,
Look at
and-
the hole it blew in behind your house. Look at the hole it blew in the bank. You don't think it had pressure flowing on it? It blew a 6-foot deep hole where it
The
discharged.
water was coming above the ground to do that, not below the ground. That
Yeah.
wasn't, the water that blew out our fence came from on the hill. It was on the top of the ground. It wasn't.
Yeah, there was water there, but not where I'm talking. You know the hole that's at the exit of the pipe?
Right,
It
at
blew-
the end
it
of our
blew a
yard.
hole out, and that was, the water that came through your driveway was 20 foot wide. I mean,
Yeah.
Mr. Burns had a picture, a video of it.
With more.
We had
Yeah,
lots.
showing the videos.
So, give me the request.
Okay, and I do have another request for those reports, and I did take a picture so you could see that is sewage on the top of my toilet. I mean, that is disgusting. And I have to live this way? That's terrible. That's terrible.
I agree with you.
That
No one's
is
disagreeing with that. But I mean, the disagreement we have, and I talked to you on the phone about it, is the water that's getting into the sewer system is water. It's clear
Well,
water.
there's
There's not an abundance of sewer just falling out.
I
of it.
understand that, but I thought the sewer system's closed.
Well,
It is closed. It's not an open system.
It's
And
not.
somehow rainwater is getting in there.
Yeah, because
And
of
then,
things
well,
that happened 30
okay.
years ago
Now-
that I can't solve.
Well, I don't know what happened 30 years ago, but I've lived there for 30 years, and I know in the last 1 year, we've had it twice.
Right.
And that's it. I mean, for 30 years previous, 29 years, whatever you want to say, we had no problems.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never been
And
to
we
one of
haven't
these
had
meetings till
5
last
inches
week.
of water in an hour. Though.
Well, you know
I
what?
mean-
No, wait, I have a report here.
Okay.
I have a report here from Penn State Climate.
I would ask that,
And we've had,
excuse me, real quick, anybody who wants to comment, just wait until the next turn to come up as Mr., I think it's Mr. Williams, as he did, and identify yourself.
that on 10/30/2012,
Mhm.
we had 3.94 inches of rain
Where?
in the South Union Township area.
What rain gauge was used for that?
This is from Penn State.
How much is that, John? How much?
All right.
3.94.
Okay.
And then on 6/17/2016, we had 3.35. So we've had rain.
But those gauges you're reading are from airports,
Okay, well, where did you get your gauge?
from our pump station on Route 21.
Okay, from Route 21's over there,
Right.
and I live over on.
Hey, Dawn, I live right
You
above
live right
you.
over the hill.
Right below me on Christie Drive, one of our neighbors. I'm a same force. I stand to correct you, Mr. Vernon. 5.09 we got on the bottom of Christie Drive. She has a rain gauge. Eric, I can't remember, her last name was, I couldn't marry me, but it was a Hogan girl. She's on the bottom of Christie.
Well, you know, I'm not here to cause trouble. I just want something done because I can't live this way. I mean, this is utterly ridiculous.
We're working on it, Don. We
And
got some, we got some
'cause
plans.
every time it rains, we go to the window and we're looking out the daggone window. And I know I see you guys driving by.
I just, we help you
I
too.
see you driving by. And I do have a report from, to verify that it is sewage, I have a report from ServPro that we had category 3 in our category 3 water in our downstairs. And the definition of the category 3 is water that's grossly contaminated and contains polygenics, pathogenics, toxigenics, and other harmful agents. I mean, and it's pesticides, toxic, organic, and that's what's coming into my house. And you can see by the picture that that's sewage that come out of my toilet. And we're down there trying to sweep it out the day that happened. We did do a good job by having good neighbors. They came down and helped, and we got it all out. But that's what's coming out of my toilet and the drains in my house. And I don't know, how's the hurricane doing? You're not paying attention to anything anybody's saying. You're looking at the hurricane. I've got it out enough from there. Well, you are.
This is not the hurricane.
Well, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else?
Yeah, my name's Alan McDonald. I live at 103 Kayla Court. Mr. Scott, has the sewage department gotten a hold of you to sign the easements?
For your backflow?
Yes.
Yes.
Is anybody going to get a hold of us?
Yes, we have a list of backflows that we're getting together so we can bid them out.
Okay, because the paperwork I was given to go get notarized, to get that easement, they wouldn't notarize.
Why?
Because they said I needed you and the secretary, the people that were noted on the thing. So I was given a document.
Notarization.
Notarizing your signature.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Notarizing.
I'm a retired judge, believe me. All you're going to do is notarize your signature, that's all it is.
I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
they would not
I
notarize.
can tell us actually you went to. Tell me.
I went to AAA.
That doesn't make any sense.
Is it just, you were going there to have your signature notarized, correct? Yeah, they weren't having anybody else, so they should
Well,
try different notaries.
they said that unless they had the other people there, Mr. Scott and the secretary for the township, that were listed on the form
Just
also.
listed their names, that's not correct, that's not
No.
legally correct. It's
You
notary's
just
there
need
to
your signature.
notarize
You
your
just
signature.
notarizing that you
Just
signed that paper.
Telling you,
Well,
the
you can
AAA
go
wouldn't-
to- We can give you other notaries you can go to. You can come to Mr. Davis's office.
well, I was told
You come to my
that
office.
somebody would, when I took the paperwork back over, they said, well, we'll get them, get you guys to sign them, and we'll meet whoever up at, somewhere up on Morgantown
Maxine
Street.
was mistaken then, because I didn't know about that.
Well, that's what she told me,
You
so I've
can
been
get
waiting for
I
a
get my
phone call.
signature notarized all the time. I mean, you don't have to have the other party.
I can notarize your signature being a retired judge. I told the proper authority.
That's all you need. They must have been confused on
Sign back and notarize.
what you.
Yeah, the
They
only
were
thing I can think is
notarized.
that they thought they were going to
That's all
notarize
right.
Mr. Scott, so they will not notarize somebody who signed beforehand, but if they're only notarizing your signature,
Right.
there should be a notary seal right there.
Yes,
But
sir.
you could come to our office, we have notaries, Monday to Friday.
There was
Okay.
there was no place for the notary to put her seal or her signature on that paper either.
Okay.
So that's where she was a little wary
Yeah,
too.
you
There was
can-
actually no place for her
Okay, yeah, I have a blank
to do
stamp,
it.
you do that.
Yeah,
That's
we
fine.
can fix that just by
Yeah.
putting a stamp on, but
Yeah.
I don't know what notary you dealt with, but it's.
Sworn to and subscribed before me.
She said
It
there
was
was no
up to
place for
AAA.
her to actually sign and stamp.
I don't know. But we
So
have
the whole
10 of them
paper
over here.
got
Notarized.
approved.
That's no big deal.
Okay. The other thing is you just brought up that all this water is clean water, not sewage. But
I didn't say it. The water that's getting into the sanitary system is clean water, which is in turn pushing sewage out through Mr. Williams' house.
okay, and I guess that goes back to Mr. Williams asking about the report. It should show where all these lines that are coming in, these sources for clean water, not sewage.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm going to... Like, I did this my whole life. If I go around the township and I tell every person that bought a house like them 30 years ago, and they paid a builder to build their house, and then I'm going to tell them that they got to go dig their whole house up, take their French drain out of the sewer, their neighbor has their stairwell drain into the sewer. It's graded straight to it. So she's gonna have to redo her whole basement floor to take care of this. Now, do you think all these people can afford to take this out?
Well, can we afford to keep having our homes flooded? Because
I
you
was
say
at-
nothing.
I was at your house.
Excuse me, can I finish?
Your house didn't flood from sewage. I was at your house, was I not? I came and I showed you where your water was coming
That was
in.
last year.
Right,
That was not this year's.
okay.
Water that backed up came up out of the drain. In fact, my whole back, 15 feet from my back door was flooded. That manhole that you guys dug up a couple of years ago
Right, it was
and put
underwater.
it in the right way
It was underwater.
was underwater, well underwater.
I understand. I mean, I was
But-
there. I was out in it.
Okay, but my question is, you say there's other water getting in there.
Right.
And nothing can be done, but it sounds like there should be, here's where this other water's coming from. It's creating a problem.
I understand it sounds simple. It does. But, and you can ask Mr. Rover, I mean, don't take my opinion. I have another engineer I brought in from the, out of the area. And they're telling me the same thing.
But this additional water that's not sewage.
All right. Should not be getting into the sanitary system. You are
Okay.
100% correct.
Aren't you folks the ones
And the
that
houses that are
supposed to
built
be able
from
to
today
stop?
on aren't. But I can't go back and correct what happened 30 years ago.
We did go back, when I was a district judge, the supervisor did go back and make the rain, the downspouts out.
With the smoke testing, they did that back in the 90s. They
Yeah.
did smoke testing, but that's limited to what you can find out. Because just like Mr. Williams' house, he has a trap on his house. You can't smoke test his house. You can smoke test the whole neighborhood, and you're not going to find anything at his house because it goes to that trap and it stops. So he could have everything. I'm just using you as an example. He could have his French drains, downspouts, everything tied into the sewer line. And you're not going to get that. So the neighbor above him gets water in his basement. Where do you think all that water goes? The water ran down her stairwell into her basement. Where do you think it goes? It goes into the sewer line. Mrs. Jenkins across the street, her whole house flooded. Where do you think all that water goes? It goes into the sewer. And it pushes out at his house. I mean, that's what's happening. But how do you solve it? And Dawn, I can sit up here and sugarcoat it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't. And neither does he. You can put
somebody that can fix it?
we put a backflow in for you, but I can't guarantee you that that's going to solve your problem. 100%. I can't. I mean, I think it will help you, but if we get 5 inches of rain again, I don't know if it's going to solve the problem.
I believe in 2005, John,
I don't think it
Mr.
will.
Rover, in 2005, the International Code came in for building new houses, 2006.
It came in April 2004.
Then on, everything has to be inspected. Before that, we didn't have any inspections throughout the state. They started that, I know that's still just judged that last year. And they do, before you tap the sewer line in, it's inspected.
Yeah, from then forward,
Yeah.
it's all, the houses are different today. They're inspected. They check the drains when they come. I mean, it's a different ballgame today. But I can't go back and fix everyone's house that's above Rubel Drive, and get all the water. Every basement foundation wall that leaks. And how many people do you know have water in their basements?
Quite a few.
All that went in the sanitary sewer.
Down the drain.
All that went into the sanitary sewer. So it's not just a fact that you got your downspout tied in. That's low
I don't
hanging
have
fruit.
my downspouts.
I'm saying,
Easy.
your neighbors, that's easy stuff you can find. But
Okay.
when you got water coming through your foundation and it's running into the floor drain, that's going straight into the sewer. He's the lowest one there,
But
he's gonna get it.
But water seeping through the walls is not putting hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water in to the
Some it
system.
is. Some of them had 3 feet of water in their basement and it came through the walls. It actually blew mortar out of some of the houses up above, out of the block. I mean, the pressure from all that water is just, it's unbelievable what it can do.
Believe me, I know what water can do. I worked with high pressure water for 40-some years.
Then you know, but it's
But-
not a simple, it's not a
But we
simple
heard about this
solution.
$50,000 matching grant. What about our tax dollars? Is there like some out of this sewage budget that there's for
And that's-
future projects?
Well, that's what we're
That's what we're
entertaining.
I saw, what was it, 285 million, right?
No.
285 million.
No.
How much was it?
285,000.
Okay.
I grant, yeah.
And these people have been having a problem for 20 years of, flooding, and that's why I'm not saying it's going to take 20 years, but
is there a schedule? Is there a schedule and a plan?
that's
To
what
go
we're working
through.
on. But it's not, just like I went and met with some people on the top of Rubel, and they said about the water coming over the road. So, John and I looked at it. We had the other engineer. We looked at it, and his first concern, and John will agree. He said, "You fix this, and you put a bigger pipe in so it doesn't flow over the road. You're going to put more water down on them that they can't handle."
Lower level.
Lower level, because it's going to take all the water now. So where do you start? And that's what I told him. Do we start down at Blue Moon? And it'll take me 30 years to get to your...
But that's what I'm asking. Is there a plan? Is there a
For 5
budgeting
inches of
plan?
rain? No, there's not.
No, for the entire system. You said the lines are deteriorating. I mean,
The storm lines,
when I had
the bottom of the storm drain.
when I had budgets that I had to propose for future, replacements and improvements. Do we have a plan in the township to do such a thing?
Not yet. We're working
We're
on
working
it, but
on
not
it
yet.
now.
No. We don't, because every engineer I talk to, it's not for 5-inch rain, 4-inch rain, whatever we had last year and this year. We get a
Mr.
2 inch.
Scott,
We get
please.
2 inches of rain. Do you get flooded?
My front yard and across the street
Does your house
sometimes
get
does.
flooded with 2 inches of rain?
If I can't get out of my home because I've got a river running across the cul-de-sac, that's a concern to me. And I know from that point, if we get any more rain and the ground's saturated, I'm going to have water probably in my basement.
We're working on it. I don't know. I don't.
Alan, we're not engineers, that's what we have, the
Right.
engineers working on it.
I understand
believe
that,
me.
but I'm just asking, is there a long-term plan to repair? I mean, at some point, somebody said this brownfield and whatever needed to be done. What is, you said it's all over, it needs to start somewhere. Well, if you don't say today, you got to eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Right, and that's what we're working on.
Okay. Is there, at some point, we'll be able to come to a meeting and see a plan?
I'm
Soon as we get
assuming
to that.
yes, but I mean it's not going to be next month.
Okay.
I mean I can tell you that. And John,
Our
you
budget's
wanna-
set up end of the year,
you wanna-
a new budget first of the year. We set it up.
But again, we can't put
No,
$1 million
No.
into a budget that we don't have it.
Yeah.
I mean we're operating on a $3 million budget
But
to run the township.
I understand that, but if you don't have a plan today, you'll never get it done.
Right, but like I explained last month, like with the grant money, if we had first floor flooding, if we had 30 houses that got first floor flooding, John will tell you, there's tons of FEMA money out there for that. When you get basement flooding, it's a whole different ballgame.
FEMA does not consider anything below the first floor a flood event in their definition. It has to be first floor and above. That's the living space.
Right, and that's why
In
we're
terms
collecting
of a
this.
plan, the first step in any plan is to map the system, okay? And they don't have good mapping of their system right now. It took nearly 2 years to map the system for the sanitary sewer. So it's going to take, at a minimum, this system is larger than the sanitary sewer system. The stormwater system is much larger than the sanitary sewer system. So in order to map that system, which is going to be the first step, which costs money, that's the first step in the process, is mapping the system and actually getting out and doing an evaluation of the current system and how it's functioning. The gentleman there thought I was looking at a hurricane map. This information is out there. The engineers and professionals relative to storm events, engineers and basically the DEP and EPA make engineers design systems relative to what's called an IDF curve. It's an intensity, duration, and frequency curve. That data, those curves are developed based upon historic rain events. Okay, so since 1950, the engineers have went back and the meteorologists have went back from 1950 to 2017. There has been, in our area of the country, a 260% increase in the intense storms that we get from 1950 to 2017. Over a 200% increase in 100-year storm events. Okay, That is just overloading the system as it was designed appropriately with the data that was needed back then. Okay, so there's being, I mean, those intensity, duration, frequency curves are being reevaluated and you know, relooked at by the engineering community and the regulatory community. So, I mean, the types of rains that we've been getting, and actually since 1950 to 2017, they've broken it down since 2010 to now. It's even been like an 80% increase in those types of storm events. So, and they're all attributing back to the warming climate that we have. In the northeast region of the United States, I mean, we've been hit harder than the western region of the United States and the southeast region of the United States. So they've broken it down by region. But you know, the northeast has been seeing more and more of these storms than any other portion of the United States. I emailed this article to Mr. Scott. I can make this article available to anybody. This comes from NOAA. It comes from a division of NOAA, and you know, the information's there. But basically, you know, they're basically saying that our infrastructure is basically going to be strained because of the intense rain events that we've been getting, and they expect it to continue.
I thank you for your time. That's why I asked. If we don't have a plan,
Hey, Alan,
it's not going to go away.
I'll get your form and I'll call you. I'll come over to your house and have you, I'll notarize it for you.
Okay,
It's over town. I'll give you a call.
I just want to make sure it can be done. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, I can.
I never heard boo anything about it.
Yeah,
We'll discuss it.
we didn't realize it. I'll contact you. I'll come.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm Trevor Lane, my fiance Ashley. We heard last meeting, we lived at 353 Dixon Boulevard, about getting a guardrail put in front of our house. You said you'd be in touch. We haven't heard anything. We just wondering if there's an update on it.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, can we put, a couple of those stones fell over and I got to hit them.
Yes.
Can we go on your property and put them back up on for you? I need a backer to do that. I want to make sure I get permission to.
Yeah.
Because you're laying on the side, you get the big one.
We could bring more in too.
Yeah, we got some bigger ones.
Bigger ones.
That would help you.
It might, but he came around the turn and went right over him. I don't know if more stone, it might help, it might not. So there's no chance of getting a guardrail?
It's not our budget this year.
Well, we could think, maybe right in front of your house there. It won't be extended all the way down along the curb there.
We use the rocks in the front, or while you're close to your house, put a section of guardrail. That help you? I think
it might.
I did all my life in that corner. There's been some out.
Yeah, there's been.
Yeah, a few of them. But I didn't see anybody ever go into that house.
Yeah, he went over the rocks and hit right in the corner.
I mean, even Marinelli's lived there. I did all my life.
Yeah.
Never heard anything going into the house.
Yeah, never. That was,
down below on Wiggins. And,
yeah, our neighbor said they've gone through the yard. They've never. That was the first time they ran into the house. But yeah, I mean, more rocks, it'll help.
We go on. It's okay to go on your property with the backhoe?
Yeah.
Okay. I live right by you, so I'll stop there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Williams, 40 Dribble Drive. Hey. I just want to give you this report and make you understand that our health's at risk. Look at that. It's not healthy. It's extremely unhealthy to live like that. And also, ask Jason, please, if you see somebody, I know you're referring to my neighbor, if she has given some guidance, she will
And we are, and I
go through.
explained to Dawn that I don't have all the information I need yet.
And these people where it's coming in, I mean, who wants like water seeping in? I mean, I'm sure that
Nobody
people.
does, but when you tell them it's going to cost them $30,000 to rectify their
I'm
problem.
already out $30,000.
Yeah, but you're a unique situation. Diane, you know I want to help you. I mean, when
know.
you came to me 3 years ago and you're losing your pool, who helped
You were there. I know. But
I want to help you, but I'm not going
desperate.
to. I understand.
I'm desperate.
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I can do this, this, or this and make it go
Just
away.
take that.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, but that's our desperation.
I understand, and I understand where you're coming from.
No, we have copies. We have copies, right?
I have copies.
We have copies.
Fritz Norway,
Yes, sir.
Google Drive,
Addresses? What's the address?
61.
Thanks, Rick.
I just wonder if we could get an update on the construction area of Chip Cherokee, what's going on up there, and for the information for the rest of the people.
Don't use that. I'm not getting anything from DEP. I mean, he's still under the...
He's still under a restriction for construction, other than what he needs to do to answer to DEP's concerns relative to their site inspections. Every time it rains, since July 21st, they go back out and re-inspect the site. In the last report, he had 2 items remaining to correct. And once those items were corrected, then the DEP will again review the site on whether he can be released to start construction again.
Can you tell us what those items are?
There was a minor item with the installation of one of the silt socks and some grading around one of the houses. It was just very little items. So the seeding that was required, he's completed. I think there were originally 6 items and there were 2 left.
I think they completed a mound down towards Wiggins, pretty close to it.
Yeah, that actually wasn't one of the original comments. That was an addition that was put on to his E&S plan to divert any water. I mean, there was water that went that way previous, but any water will be diverted down away from the homes lower than his lots up above lot 3. So.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fritz.
Yep.
Hillary Bill, 32 Rubel Drive. It's my property that you're talking about. The gentleman was there 3 weeks ago, and he said that the outside drain, did go into the sewer. I didn't build the house. I purchased it from someone.
I understand that.
I was told that I could put a cover over that stairwell.
A cover
I asked
and some regrading, but I
asked
won't get that.
if that was legal. He wouldn't answer.
No, because that's not his place to answer.
Well, as information. I wanted information.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
Right.
I'm still waiting. He told me I would get a phone call. I'm still waiting for that phone call. You said it would cost $30,000.
Not your house. It would cost $30,000. Not your house.
Well,
I'm
whose
saying
house?
there's other people in Virginia Circle that had 4 feet of water in their basement.
Well,
that went down the sewer and it went to Mr. Williams' house.
I had water in my basement. I had 26 inches.
Right.
It was not water. It was sewage.
Right.
I do not have a commode or a bathroom in my basement, but I have the pipes that one could be put in. That's where the sewage came from, into my basement. Now, I turned into Mr. Vernon today our losses, and we are still going through and accumulating losses. I've lost 175. My husband and I have lost 175,000. You don't think I would pay 30, 40, 50,000 to get that rectified so that I wouldn't have to go through this again?
You might be in a place to do that. I wasn't referring to you, but...
Well, you said that the water went down my stairwell. I mean, my drain is this far from my door. There's not that much water that came down that stairwell. My sewage came up
Through the drains.
through the drains into the basement.
Right.
I don't think that, and my downspouts do not go into the sewage.
No, they don't.
So, I mean, I take offense when you say that water went down my stairwell and caused
I'm using you as an
his...
example. There's what did you say there was? 275 houses. I'm using you as an example. You're just one that getting water.
Okay, well,
but then the next lady's probably, it's...
Okay, I'm asking...
We stand corrected on that.
Thank you very much. My next question is, I'm sure that I'm not in compliance. If what this man said was true, I could not stand at my basement door and go and look to see if any whatever came out of the sewer.
I have to take his word for it. He told me that I would get, I said, who can I get to fix this? What kind of a person do I have to get? He gave me a name, I don't remember the name. I've got a person lined up. I said, should I get that done right now? No, wait for the phone call.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure that when I get this letter that I'm not in compliance, how long will I have to take care of that?
That's what we're trying to figure out, how long we're gonna give people and what work you can do to fix it.
I mean,
there's other options. Like I just got I got the report, I reviewed it, I have them here.
Okay, what are the other options?
I'll go over them with you whenever I finish gathering all the information I need.
And that might be?
Probably within the next month, I would say, I'll be able to give you the report. I mean, he gave you some other information from downspouts that were covered up and...
No, I didn't get anything from that man.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing.
Did he talk to you, or...?
He spoke to me, but he didn't...
Well, he said he showed you where a pipe ended. It was covered up in your yard from a downspout.
We went and dug it up.
Okay.
It's up and going out.
Okay.
But he handed me an old phone book and a blank piece of paper and said, sign this. Now, I should have known better. I should not have signed it. But I signed a blank piece of paper. For what reason, I don't know. I didn't get any report. He didn't...
You signed he asked you to sign a piece of paper?
It was a blank. There was nothing else on that page. Why I signed it, I don't know why. I don't know why. I keep questioning myself. Why should I have? I should not have. I did.
I don't know.
A major
I can promise you that it's nothing we're going to use.
A major error on my part.
Okay. It's nothing we didn't require any signatures.
He didn't give me any information as to whatever. All the rest of the drains were open. We dug that one out, and it's open.
We're going to give you a report. You should have it. I want to, I have to talk to the engineers before I tell you information, and I'll make sure that I'm correct on what even though, like I said, I've done this my whole life, I'm not an engineer, so I got to make sure that what I'm thinking is cleared by him, and we also have another engineer. So,
well, I was told two different things I could do.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready and I'm willing.
Okay.
If it's going to help, I'm ready and I'm willing. But I don't think the water that went down my stairwell, which there really isn't that much water that goes down the stairwell, it flooded up. I didn't put a picture in there of my stairwell that was filled with sewage.
He's talking about 200 and some houses total water going in, not just yours. I said we stand corrected on that.
He pointed and said your neighbor.
No, that's just one example.
I'm his neighbor.
He wasn't meant that way.
I'm his neighbor. How would you take it?
Well, I would know it's just an example, but I'm doing
I didn't say Mrs. Bill did.
No, you didn't,
No.
but you pointed to me and you said your neighbor.
I apologize for that.
Now, there is a video, so
I apologize for that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for all of your concern during the flooding and after the flooding.
You're welcome.
I truly appreciate all at least the consolation that you gave us.
I'll be in touch. I have more information for you. We're just trying to gather all the details we can.
I was being sarcastic.
I know. And so was I.
Let me just make one statement. I'm not an engineer. None of us are. But we have engineers on the game plan right now. But we're lucky to have Mr. Scott. I'm not trying to, because he's district relative to marriage. Believe me, he's out there every night. It's driving him half crazy, really. It's all he's thinking about. He's trying to help everybody. Believe me, he is.
Do we have anyone else that wants to speak?
Yeah. Believe me, he is.
No? Move on. Number 10, the financial statement. Mr. Treasurer?
Yes, sir. Our financial statement for September the 1st, general fund checking account, we have $372,758.13. Our general fund investment account, we have $88,561.66. Our state fund, we have $394,503.32. Our hydrant fund, we have $8,906.33. Our athletic fund, we have $19,563.90. Our payroll fund, we have $6,510.17. And our tails on the trail fund, $3,051.10. In our North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, we have $23,549.72. In our recycling fund is $78,665.06. For total road department, we have $996,069.39. Over on the sewage fund, we have $2,670,666.95 for a grand total of $3,666,737.34. That concludes my financial report.
Thank you. Do you have any corrections, Mr. Schiffbauer?
No.
Number 11, motion to pay the current bills. Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to pay the following bills from the state fund. $11,318.94 from the North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $11,204. From the sewage fund, $247,286.73. From the recycling fund, $2,636. The hydrant fund, $1,117.39. The athletic fund, $90.40. And from the general fund, $253,954.98.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second Mr. Schiffbauer's motion.
On the roll call, Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Scott, motion carries. Number 12, engineer, do you have anything else, Mr. Hoover? Thank you. Mr. Solicitor, we have Mr. Jeremy Davis in place of Mr. Jim Davis today.
I don't know how to report tonight.
All right, thank you. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll move to adjourn. 45.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second Mr. Vernon's motion.
On the roll call, Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Or Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer? Yes. Mr. Scott, motion carries. This meeting's adjourned.